Hey there, gang. So I shot this video once already, but then I decided there's a much simpler way to do this. I put together a board that was probably more complicated and more expensive than many of you probably have access to. I was using the Meris LVX and some other stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, like this doesn't have to be that complicated for you. It doesn't have to be that complicated for me, because what we're here to talk about is a $60 pedal. Yes, the Sonicake A Factory acoustic guitar preamp. It's so good, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked, because you know me, I've put up presets for the HX Stomp and the NuX Air and the Quad Cortex and the HX Effects and the Pod Go, and I can't even remember how many devices I've gone through in the last 30 plus years, but in the last few years I've shared a lot of that stuff with you. Those things are pretty good. They've worked well, but when I started seeing videos about this, like, I must say they didn't impress me that much, because maybe how they were recording them, or I don't know. When you watch demos, I don't know if there's post-production involved, because I don't use post-production. What you hear is what you get. And I was like, well, all right, it's $60 from Amazon. Let's give it a shot. This is not a sponsored video, but I love it so much I bought two. Yeah, this is the second one. The first one is on my board, which I'm going to show you right now and demonstrate for you, so you can hear what it actually sounds like, what it does, and why I'm keeping it. Hold on. Okay, so this is the little board I put together. Little board. But these are the things that I need when I'm playing live to do my music. I've got several albums. When I go out solo, I've got to figure out a way to not only entertain the audience, but to keep myself entertained and make it interesting. And I've put the Sonicake last in the line. And yes, I do use all these things. For instance, I use this for the drones and layering that aren't very complicated, but they add a little taste. I use the Rev Mode C on a couple of songs, but it's also very useful. I only use delay on a couple of songs, so I've got the TC Electronics. And then, of course, compression and EQ. The Source Audio EQ2 is amazing, because you can use the app to tweak it. And then for chorus, I use chorus on 2 or 3 songs. Believe it or not, this little $55 Sonicake, it's Sonicake, right? Yeah, that's Sonicake as well. I bought that a couple of years ago. I gave one away in one of our giveaways. It's amazing. And the reason it's amazing is because it has mix. It's got mix blend. And when I'm playing acoustic guitar, when I want to have chorus, I don't want to have it be overbearing. I don't want it to take over the sound. Like if you're using a chorus, look, chorus has some dry blend in it. That's what makes it chorus and not vibrato or other modulation. But if you can't adjust it, it tends to overwhelm the signal for me. So this little sucker on the blue sky setting, which is kind of like don't dream it's over kind of sound, but you can blend it in as much as you want. It just works beautifully. I may switch to the B-Tronics Harmonious CB pretty soon, but it won't fit on this board. I'd have to change the board. Or instead of this full-size infinite sustainer, I'd have to use the Mini, which I ordered recently. I just don't have it yet. And you may ask, why do I use the Source Audio Zeo? Well, the Source Audio Zeo, the different preamp choices and the bright, medium, and dark are brilliant for acoustic guitar. I'm just telling you, I notice the difference when it's off. It's also got a buffer. It's got a buffer in it, so that's really cool. But if you have a PA, like say you have a really bright PA system that you're playing through, you can switch it to the Echoplex setting, and that's a darker kind of vibe than the FET setting. And then you have the studio setting, which is brighter than all three of them if you have a really dark PA. So it actually gives you another way to control your sound other than the EQ with the A Factory. But the A Factory is amazing. The notch filter works great. The EQ is great. It definitely adds some body to the sound, which you will hear when I demonstrate it shortly. That put it over the top for me. That's what made it worth it. It's also got an XLR out. The XLR out sounds better than the 1/4 inch out to me. And I don't know, this rig sounds fantastic. And even if you're just getting this and a compressor and an EQ or something before it, and that's enough for you, that's great. I also have the TC Electronic mini tuner that has a buffer in it right at the top of the chain. So I'm gonna play this for you a little bit and you can hear what it sounds like. But like I said, I bought a second one because it's that good. $60. If you don't like it, Amazon takes returns really easily. But like I said, I bought a second one. So really happy with this. I might have to change the board around I've had the Beatronics Harmonious CB before. I never should have sold it because it does a tremendous job with modulation in general, but it also has a mix, which sounds fantastic on acoustic. I can't remember why I got rid of it a couple years ago, but I bought another one used and it's on its way, and I may have to change the board. But the other good thing about this board is it's 14 by 11, which means it fits in my carry-on bag, so the airlines can't lose it. Because honestly, I've lost 3 guitars, damaged guitars in the last 30 years, and I've lost other stuff. I've even had a sweater, an expensive sweater, stolen out of my luggage. It's just insane. My friend Tom Hampton, who was in Poco, he has the most crazy, insane story about how Rusty Young's pedal steel, got stolen by the airlines or TSA, but that's for another day. So let me demonstrate this for you a little bit, just briefly, so you can hear what it sounds like, and then you can figure out if you want to try this for yourself. But I had recently had a Grace Alex with a compressor on my board, so not that different than this, tuner, compressor, Alex, and then some of this other stuff. And while the Alex was fantastic, it's also $800. And I really feel like, and it doesn't have reverb. The reverb sounds fantastic. Really, I'm a reverb guy. It sounds fantastic on this. I just think that, for $800 versus $60, you be the judge. All right, let's listen to it. All right, so this is with everything off. The Sonicake, the EQ, the compressor, and the Zeo. So there's nothing coloring the sound. This is the acoustic guitar direct. And this is with the compressor and the Source Audio EQ2. The compressor, by the way, if you didn't notice, is the new j.rockett Airchild. And now I'm going to put on the Source Audio Zeo preamp. Just adds a little bit of body. I kind of like it. So now we're going to put on the A Factory, the Sonicake A Factory. And if you know you want a little bit more sizzle, you can add more mids or more top. I'm going to add a touch more top. And now the reverb. I've got it dialed down, probably about 10 o'clock, but that's all I need, and pretty close to noon for the decay. It's pretty good, I gotta say. And then the XLR out's kind of nice to have at the end. I tried a bunch of different configurations before I ended up on this. And then now I'm gonna demonstrate the Sonicake chorus, just so you can hear that. Just a nice, subtle, wavy. Here's without it. And here's with. If I turn the mix up, it would be far too much. And yeah, so that gives me a lot of flexibility. I just highly recommend the A Factory from Sonicake. Again, I'll turn off the reverb and I'll turn off, this is no A Factory. Sounds fine. But now with. So yeah, just some more body, but also you've got the EQ. And let me say something about the notch filter. I've seen people describing the notch filter online and sometimes erroneously. Here's what I would do with the notch filter. I would turn it up all the way on the gain and then sweep the notch part to find where it's starting to sound woofy. This is before you even get to a PA, but of course you can tweak it later. So turn up the notch, and when you start hearing it woofy, go a little past that and try to find that region that's like, oh, okay, I can hear where this could be a problem, and then cut the gain a little bit. Not turn it all the way off, because it's another form of EQ, right? Like that's how it's working for me here in the studio. If I turn it all the way down, that frequency is gone. You don't want to lose it entirely. You just want to obviously not have it feedback during a show, but actually use it as another form of EQ, because you have 3 bands of EQ, and then you've got the notch as a 4th. You know what I mean? Like, try that. So that's what I'm saying. Like right here is the notch. So, you know, you can find that region that's really boomy by turning that knob up right there, and then find the boomy thing, and then just cut it back. I've got mine cut back, you know, like around 10 o'clock. I may have to do it more when I get in a room with the PA, but that's a good way to have another way to EQ your signal, and I'm really happy with it. I think it works great. I'm going to show you my EQ settings because I know I showed it to you when I had the board up, but now every guitar is different, of course, right? Of course. So basically, this is sort of where I'm at, right? Is something like that. So, you know, your guitar is going to be different, so find a place that your guitar works well for you. But that's what works well for me, and I'm really happy with it, or else I wouldn't have bought a second one. If you don't like it, return it. That's the great thing about Amazon. But I'm going to turn the reverb back on, and and play us out. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I may have to change the board around. I want to keep it the size to fit into my carry-on. My little wheelie carry-on, and I'll also have a backpack. Now, why is this important? Well, yeah, I know I'm moving in a few weeks to Europe, but then I'm going to be on a lot of trains and small planes, and, you know, I'm already going to have to check my guitar. I've got an amazing SKB, they say it's indestructible case for my guitar, but I don't want to spend more money checking more luggage. So I want to have this, some clothes, and some more clothes in a 3-day backpack. And that's it. That's what I'm going to be traveling with. And I'm going to start playing some shows, getting back out and doing my music again. So thanks for watching. I hope you dig it. Let me know what your solutions are for your acoustic guitar, because I think by now I've tried everything. Thanks.